What's up, y'all? I hope all you musicians out there are staying safe, quarantining yourselves, stopping the spread of this crazy virus. In the meantime, I thought it would be cool to make a short series about music theory for all of my amazing, wonderful students. So today we're talking about the number one rule of all music ever written in human history, and that is the 5-1. So how do we get 5-1 out of that? Well, we're going to go back a couple of steps here. We're going to break it way down, all the way down to the most baby level that I could possibly break it down to. First, we need to understand what a key is. Not just a key on the keyboard. A key is actually a deeper concept than that. So musicians will talk about being in a key, in this key, in that key, in the key of C, in the key of D. What does that actually mean? Well, a key has a scale. Every key basically has 7 notes that go with that key out of the total possible 12. So if we go all the way down to the bottom here, we got a C down there. And you'll notice it's right next to these 2 black keys, right? So if we find the next 2 black keys right there, there's our next C. Now, if we leave the second C out and go to the B right before it, and we add up all of these, we add up all of these notes together here. Oh, I missed one. There you go. There's 12 notes here. And so the same 12 keep repeating all the way up the keyboard. However, music isn't just random combinations of these 12 notes, right? It has to have an order. It has to have some kind of thing that holds it all together, that makes it make sense. So that's where being in a key becomes necessary. So we got all 12 of these notes here, and I guess like 5,000 years ago or whatever, some genius thought that it would be a better idea to just leave all these black keys out, and you have our first key here. So it's all white notes, and if you count these up, now we've gone down to 7. So that's about half. So we started with 12, 7. Huge difference there. Now with these 7, we can give these little letter names here. So we got C, we got D, we got E, we got F, we got G, we got A, and finally the B. So this is what is known as the key of C. I know the vocabulary is a little bit weird because a key is actually talking about 7 keys, not just 1 key, but come on, y'all, I didn't make the rules, I just teach them. So now that we have our key, we got our 7 notes, we can give them numbers or Roman numerals, 1, 2, 3, etc., etc. But this video is about 5-1, right? So where's the 5 here? I'll give you 5 nanoseconds to figure it out. So we actually just count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got this G here. So the G, you could say, is the 5 in the key of C. And you could say C is like the 1, right? So we got a 5, we got a 1. Now, when we see Roman numeral 5, we're not just talking about this note G, because then we could just write the letter G, right? So when we see the Roman numeral, what that's telling us is that we're actually talking about a chord or a harmony. Here's our trusty dusty C, and we can make this into a nice chord by skipping to the E and skipping to the G. So if I play that, I'll move it up here a little bit so you can hear. Wonderful. So there's our C, and we're going to skip, and we're going to skip. Easy enough, right? So now let's go to the 5. That brings us to G, right? So we can go up to the 5, and we can do the same exact skip, skip, and turn it into happy little G chord. Or alternatively, we could go down to the 5 here, 8, 7, 6, 5. We get to the same exact place, the G, G chord, Beethoven-esque G chord. So 5-1, in the simplest way you can play it, would sound like this. Okay. Not very exciting, not very dramatic. But this simple sounding little progression here is kind of the backbone of pretty much all music of all time, not just even Western music. So we could take a nursery rhyme, Mary Had a Little Lamb. One, 5, 1, right? You could take Pachelbel's canon here. There's our 5. Who knows what's coming up next? Back to the 1. So that's all fine and good, but we're not just going to stay in the key of C forever and ever and ever. So I'll show you a little kind of shortcut here to figure out where all of the 1s and 5s are in any key you choose. So let's go a little bit wacky here right off the bat, and let's go from C, let's go to C sharp. So we're going to call C sharp our new 1. So now we've gone to a different key, otherwise known as a key change. So here's our new 1, C sharp instead of C. How do we figure out where the 5 is now? Because it's obviously, it's not going to be the same G. If we go, that doesn't quite work as well. So it's definitely not G. So we got to figure out what's the distance between C and G. And so we can actually count the little half steps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until we land on that G. So we got 7 half steps from C to G, and if we go from C sharp, well, if you go up the same 7 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's our 5th of C sharp. So what you can do is this, go through every key that you know, even if you're just staying in white keys first, and find the 1, find the 5. So here's C, and the 5th. You can go to D, and the 5th. Oh, E, F, G, A, B, and you'll notice that one sounds a little bit strange. Let's check our half steps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we only had 6. We need to go to that 7th half step here. And there is our 5th above B. So all the ones except for this B here, all the other ones are just white keys, white keys, white keys, white keys, all the way down. So that's my first challenge for y'all, is to go out there, find all the 1s, find all the 5s. Secondly, what you want to do is use the little skip pattern, and you can use the same exact rule that we did with the 5th here to figure out all of the chords. So if you know how to find a 5th, you just go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives you the middle note there, known as the 3rd. So we got the 1, we got the 3, we got the 5, and we can go to any key, this one randomly, and we can turn this into the same happy little chord. So we can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we got another 1 chord here. You can go to the 5th here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can 1, 5 in every key. So just so you know, I'll go a little slow here, and you can hear all of these here. 1, 5, 1, 5. I won't do all of them, I'm just kidding. So that's challenge number 2, is find all of the 1 and 5 notes and then harmonize and turn them into 1 chords and 5 chords. Now beyond that, of course, you can take the C scale that we learned at the beginning, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and you can, of course, go through and count all of the intervals and half steps and whole steps between each scale note, and you can apply that to any other key that you want as well. So if you memorize the pattern of the distance between the keys, you can go ahead and just apply that through and maybe be a little bit easier on yourself about having to memorize everything. And so you can get into the muscle memory of what that half step feels like, or what that whole step feels like if it's C, D versus C sharp, D sharp, very similar. Learn all your keys, learn your intervals, learn your chords, and that's how you get the money.